Hello everybody, this is Daniel with Peace and Plenty Homestead, and I'm going to process 25 Cornish hens today, and I want to walk you through the tricks and techniques that I use to get 25 done in one day by myself. One of the things is redundancy and everything set up. So I set everything up this morning because I put everything away, organized, I know right where it's at, so getting started isn't that difficult because I've got everything ready to go. I've got the Cub Cadet right here in case I need to run up to the house and do anything. I've got the processing station table right here. I'm going to turn the camera around and walk you through the details of what we're doing. So here are the 25 Cornish hens right here. This is where we drain them right here. A nice one bad day for them. This is the cooker, the hot water cooker, and one of the ways that I'm able to do it so fast is the type of turkey cooker that I use, which you can see down in here how big that burner is. That's a 64,000 BTU propane burner right there, and I've got the propane tank right there. Redundancy, I've got 2 tanks backing up in case I need it. I've got extra lighters in case I need them. I've got an extra pot in case I need it. Sometimes I'll take this pot off when it gets really dirty and throw another pot up there, and it doesn't take but 20 minutes to get the water up to temperature. The temperature that you want to be is 170, 175 right there, and you want the chicken to be in there for about 25 to 27 seconds. You may have to, look at that as you're going along and adjust your own temperature and your own heat, but if you get the right temperature and the right timing, the feathers come off extremely easy, and that's another trick to being able to do 25 in one day by yourself. This is the trash can that I use. It's got a couple holes drilled in the bottom of it, and as the feathers come off, they'll go right into there. Of course, I've got the fan under there as I'm pulling the feathers. I've just come from the cooker, so it's pretty hot. I'll sit right here with the fan and pull the feathers. Then I slide the chicken up here and I gut it right here. Now I'll have a 5-gallon buckets right here. One for chicken, the liver and the lungs and whatever the chickens will eat, and then the other bucket is for whatever the pigs will eat. And then over here I've got this area cleared out in case it rains or it gets too hot. I can pull my processing table in here. These are my coolers for putting the chickens in. I'll put about 12 or 13 in each cooler, and I've got my ice in there. So I'll start putting the chickens in here first and moving the ice slowly over, and then I'll start putting chickens in here and then start moving the ice back on top of them like that. This is my little station just so I have everything handy. I put everything in here to keep it organized so I know right where it's at. The processing scissors, notice how they've got a curve on them. This will keep you from cutting into the organs. You do not want to cut or nick any of the organs. So you can put this under the skin and you can hook underneath and see the point come up, then you can cut the skin like that. This is my favorite pair of scissors right here. These are the ones I'll use. I've got an extra sharp knife for the neck sometimes. This is for the processing sharpener. This is my temperature indicator. I use this, got this from an automotive place, and I can check the temperature of the water right there, and then I use my phone for the timer for 25 to 27 seconds and 175 on the temperature, and then I keep extra lighters because they always go bad. Well, I'm not going to have time to do much more talking right now. We'll see how it goes. 25 chickens. It's about 9 o'clock, and we'll see how the heat does and the weather, and I'll let you know how it goes when we wrap up. Okay, we're all finished up. It's a little tiny bit after 2 o'clock. I started at 8 o'clock. It took about an hour to set up. Started processing at about 9 o'clock. So I had to put a cover over the paddy wagon here to keep them from getting too hot. Before this rain came in, there was like a heavy humidity, a lot of heat. So then when it started raining, that worked as a cover. So I've already cleaned up the dispatch station right there. One of the things you have to keep an eye out is not to let their wings flop around. Try to hold them calm so that you don't bruise the wings and get a lot of blood into the wings. So try to do it as peaceful as possible. That's what we do around here. Okay, I've already turned this off, but I wanted to show you this 64,000 BTU cooker right there. That is where I can actually get the temperature up really quick and control it, fast and get my time done. So I had to move inside first because of the heat, then the rain. Notice I've got a piece of wood underneath the table leg right there. That slants the table down, so when I'm washing the feathers off, it runs away from me and not into my lap. And of course I had my little chair right here, and I have the fan going underneath right there, and I actually went and got a second fan right there. This is to dispatch the net right here, and then to cut the fat. And this is what I use to go around the rear, for lack of a better word. Just go around carefully, making sure that you don't nick the intestines. You don't want any manure on the inside or on the meat or anything. But we stopped feeding 12 hours prior. So this morning they did not get any feed, and then by 2 o'clock this afternoon, their systems were completely cleaned out. The first ones I did, the systems had a little bit of manure in them, so you had to be really careful. And then over here we've got the on ice, and we'll keep them on ice for 2 to 3 days. And here's one right here. I try to pack a little bit of ice inside the carcass. And I don't do a perfect skinning job, defeathering. I don't do a perfect job because we actually skin them. Everything except for the wings. We skin all of the meat off of all of the fat off of the breast and off of the legs and thighs. So we don't really keep much of the skin. We do like it on the wings, and that works out well. So 2 to 3 days from now, I will bring them into the kitchen, and we will finish the feathers. And camera back around for just a minute. I'm a wreck. Oh, I've been going today. So on, let's see, today's Monday, so Thursday we will quarter them and can the breast meat and probably some of the thighs, and we'll separate the tenderloin out, and we will deep fry that as little chicken nuggets. So I'll use the zero turn to pull the wagon with the coolers up to the house and unload those into the house so that it'll be there and ready to go. I wanted to tell you again about the heat. When you've got the ideal temperature, 175, 180 today, each time it's different. Today it was a little bit higher, 175, 180, and the time that it was in the water was 25 to 27 seconds. And the best way to test to see if you need to go longer or shorter is the tail feathers, right where the rear of the chicken is. There's a little hunk of meat that kind of sticks out. There's some tail feathers on there. So if you've got one person doing the dispatch station and another person doing the hot water, the scalding, and then another person pulling feathers on the first feather pulling station, sorry about the light, on the first feather pulling station, then I'm gonna readjust the camera so you don't have to have the light in your eyes. So the way I've got it set up is I came here to this station and I pulled all the feathers out as much as I could with my hands. Now the feathers are sticking to my hands, they're sticking to the chicken, they're sticking to the table. But once I've got the majority of them pulled, then I take the hose and in my right hand and my left hand, I just go along and pick the last little, and rinse and pick to get the last little bit of it cleaned off. Then I slide it over to the other end of the table here and dispatch the neck and then the intestines. And I pull the intestines out right over the edge of the table into the bucket. And I've already put those on the compost for the chickens to work their way through. I want to thank everybody for watching. It's been a long day. I'm worn out. Probably can see the sweat on me. I'm a real mess, but I got it done, and we'll quarter those here in a couple of days. Thank you for watching. This is Daniel with Peace and Plenty Homestead.